Follicle stimulating hormone. The follicle stimulating hormone FSH is produced by the pituitary gland about the size of a pillowcase near to brain, which plays a role in sexual development. The analysis of follicle stimulating hormone ensures the level of the hormone in the blood.
Follicle-stimulating hormone is a glycoprotein hormone found in humans and other animals. It is synthesized and secreted by gonadotropes of the anterior pituitary gland and regulates the development, growth, pubertal maturation, and reproductive processes of the body. FSH and luteinizing hormone act synergistically in reproduction. FSH is a 35.5 kDa glycoprotein heterodimer consisting of two polypeptide units, alpha and beta. Its structure is similar to those of luteinizing hormone, thyroid-stimulating hormone, and human chorionic gonadotropin. The alpha subunits of the glycoproteins LH, FSH, TSH, and HCG are virtually identical and consist of about 96 amino acids, while the beta subunits vary. Both subunits are required for biological activity. FSH has a beta subunit of 111 amino acids, which confers its specific biologic action, and is responsible for interaction with the follicle-stimulating hormone receptor. The sugar portion of the hormone is covalently bonded to asparagine, and is composed of N-acetyl-galactosamine, mannose, N-acetylglucosamine, galactose, and sialic acid, the last one being critical for its biological half-life of 3-4 years. The gene for the alpha subunit is located at cytogenetic location 6q14.3. It is expressed in different cell types, most notably the basophils of the anterior pituitary. The gene for the FSH beta subunit is located on chromosome 11p13 and is expressed in gonadotropes of the pituitary cells, controlled by GnRH.
Application in nursing. Provide follow-up to patients according to the FSH values they present. Educate the patient to perform periodically the type of hormonal FSH test.
Let's learn about follicle-stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, and prolactin. These hormones are secreted by the pituitary gland, which is located just under the brain in the sphenoid bone. The anterior portion of the pituitary gland contains a vascular network called the hypophyseal portal system. There is a two-step process for releasing anterior pituitary hormones. First, a releasing hormone is secreted by the hypothalamus. The releasing hormone travels to the anterior pituitary through the blood vessel system. Next, an anterior pituitary hormone is secreted in response to the releasing hormone. Let's look at one releasing hormone known as gonadotropin releasing hormone, or GnRH. GnRH facilitates the release of two hormones, follicle-stimulating hormone, or FSH, and luteinizing hormone, or LH. Let's look at FSH. In females, FSH helps the ovarian follicle develop and promotes estrogen secretion. In males, FSH promotes sperm development. The other hormone that responds to GnRH is luteinizing hormone, or LH. In females, LH stimulates ovulation and promotes secretion of estrogen and progesterone by the ovaries. In males, LH stimulates the production of testosterone. Prolactin is another hormone released by the anterior pituitary, but is not affected by GnRH secretion.
Pros and cons. Pros. During the menstrual cycle, the level of FSH varies depending on the phase in which the woman is. In women, FSH helps control the menstrual cycle and stimulates the ovaries to produce ovules. Cons. FSH release is stimulated by activity, while as inhibitors of its synthesis are strong, inhibit prolactin progesterone. In both men and women, FSH serves the function of stimulating maturation of hair cells.
A high FSH means an elevated level of follicle-stimulating hormone, and that's a hormone that's made by the pituitary gland. The brain signals FSH in order to communicate with the ovary and send signals to ultimately grow follicles and reach ovulation. We use FSH clinically as a test to measure a woman's ovarian reserve. As women, we're born with a finite number of eggs, and each month as we ovulate, we deplete our follicular pool. When we get an elevated FSH value, that means that the brain is likely working a little bit harder to drive ovary function, and that typically signals that the ovarian pool is somewhat depleted. Women over the age of 35 are more likely to have a depleted ovarian pool, and that's why this test is useful clinically. Having elevated FSH values can help us to choose fertility treatments or select appropriate protocols. It also helps us to understand the urgency of treatment or entering treatments.
Issue applied in Ecuador. Studies performed determined the blood level of the FSH hormone was elevated in 20% of the patients studied, diagnosing and possibly reduced ovarian reserve.
I'm Sandy Robertson from GetPregnantOver40.com. Today we're going to talk about a question that women over 40 frequently have, and that is, can I get pregnant with high FSH? First of all, what is FSH? FSH stands for follicle stimulating hormone. If your body is having a hard time getting follicles to develop, the FSH is going to get higher. This is why high FSH may indicate fertility problems and possibly even ovarian failure. So what can you do naturally to lower FSH? The first thing I recommend is increasing pelvic circulation. Hormones and oxygen travel through the circulatory system. This will assist your body in getting the hormones where they're needed. I have a DVD on fertility bodywork which shows how you can perform self-pelvic massage and certain yoga poses. The next thing I recommend is to increase the good fats in your diet. This will help you manufacture hormones. Good sources are avocados, almonds, walnuts, and also certain types of fish. You also need to increase protein in your diet. Hormones are made of proteins. Good sources would be vegetable protein. You can also have some animal protein as well. Things like bee pollen are also great as well. My website has a whole section on fertility foods and bee pollen. Visit me at getpregnantover40.com, where I have more on this subject and many others. Bye for now.
conclusion, FSH is a hormone released by the pituitary gland of the brain that stimulates the growth of follicles and plays a role of the maturation of oocytes. When there is a low number of FSH, the pituitary gland attempts to compensate for its increasing FSH production each month, resulting in an increase in FSH levels.
So we had two strikes. We had the blocked fallopian tube, we had the high FSH. After leaving Gainesville and came back, we had no blocked tube and normal FSH and 3 kids.
We got married and then we decided let's go ahead and start having kids right away because you never know how long this will take and tick-tock your biological clock, and I was 30 when I got married. And so we went to the IVF specialist and we had to do a series of tests. And so we did the FSH test and my levels came back that I was menopausal, that it was 26.2 something, and it should be normal range is like 7.
Her levels would mimic someone in menopause, that they were just through the roof. And so that took an option away from us.
I found Clear Passage and I looked at it, and I remember finding this on the internet and thinking, I don't know if this is actually real or not. You know, is it true? Is this a valid place? Is this legitimate? And I talked to my husband about it, and he said, well, let's give him a call and see. What can that hurt? And then once I called Clear Passage, they were very open. They said, you know, you could be a potential. This could work for you, but no promises were given.
I think prior to going, we did some more research. We talked to a couple folks that had gone to Clear Passage before. We had studied. I'm in the medical field myself, so I did an awful lot of research, and it started to make sense to us. And so when we went down, the first thing we felt right away was that this is where we're supposed to be. We actually, while we were still in Gainesville, after the procedures, we practiced.